At the height of the Cold War, two global juggernauts stared down the barrel of nuclear Armageddon, NATO and the communist Warsaw Pact. Only one thing stopped the rivaling superpowers from unleashing the deadly power of the atom: mutual assured destruction. Let's pull back the Iron Curtain and explore what was the Warsaw Pact. After the end of World War II, an Iron Curtain divided Europe between the US-dominated capitalist West and the Soviet-aligned Communist East. A race for influence raged across the entire continent. In a red wave, the USSR installed puppet regimes in Red Army-occupied countries. To contain the Soviet Union's growing power, United States and its allies formed NATO, a transatlantic collective security organization. The Western Bloc's unspoken mission was to keep the Soviet Union out, the Americans in, and the Germans down. The critical fault line of the Cold War ran through occupied Germany and its partitioned capital, Berlin. In 1955, NATO made the controversial decision to expand and admitted West Germany into the alliance. Tensions rose to a boiling point. German rearmament raised fears across Eastern Europe, especially in countries that suffered under Nazi occupation. Raising the stakes, the Soviet Union and 7 other countries joined an opposing military bloc, the Warsaw Pact. The Warsaw Pact, officially the Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation and Mutual Assistance, was the major military component of the USSR's strategy to counterweight NATO. The treaty organization acted as a security complement to the Council for Mutual Economic Assistance, an economic cooperation organization parallel to Western efforts like the Marshall Plan and OECD. Both blocs sought to construct rivaling global orders. Only one hegemon would survive the war. Albania, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, the German Democratic Republic, Hungary, Poland, Romania, and the USSR were the organization's founding members. Though nominally independent, the nations remained satellite states, unable to stray from Moscow's orbit. The Warsaw Pact created a unified but Soviet-led military command structure and acted as a forward operating base for the Red Army. It was also a force multiplier. The Polish People's Republic alone could field 700,000 soldiers fully mobilized. But the Pact's crown jewel was the German Democratic Republic. The GDR lay at the Cold War's fault line and became a player in the struggle for world revolution, supporting socialist governments and national liberation movements, as in Angola and Ethiopia. The treaty was invoked only once, during the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1968. Warsaw Pact troops forced the Czechoslovak regime back into line after it lifted restrictions on freedom of expression and sought closer relations with the West. Albania left the pact in protest. Obsessed with outmatching the military capabilities of their enemy, The Warsaw Pact and NATO were locked in an arms race. The pact proved a dangerous nemesis, assembling a deadly nuclear arsenal and a massive conventional army, dwarfing the West's combined forces on land. NATO maintained a vital edge at sea with a larger destroyer and aircraft carrier fleet. NATO and the Warsaw Pact possessed a doomsday arsenal capable of wiping out civilization. The superpowers played a dangerous game and they knew it, avoiding direct confrontation with each other as the alternative was unthinkable. Neither side wanted to start an atomic war they couldn't survive. The doctrine of mutual assured destruction, or MAD, stated that rational states would avoid full-scale use of nuclear weapons as it would cause the total annihilation of the attacker and defender. Its intent was to create a tense but predictable peace enforced by fear. In 1989, a wave of popular discontent spread behind the Iron Curtain and unraveled the Soviet bloc. Like dominoes, the communist dictatorships fell one by one. The Warsaw Pact disbanded, and the USSR collapsed. In wake of the geopolitical earthquake, every Warsaw Pact satellite state joined NATO. The US became the sole superpower left standing at the end of the Cold War. The Cold War was fought between two global juggernauts, NATO versus the Warsaw Pact. Nuclear holocaust was only averted by the superpowers' fear of mutual assured destruction. Neither side wanted to start a war they couldn't survive, or inherit a world burned to radioactive ash.